CFM Radio, it is Wednesday, and we are live.
Vector, how is it going?
It is going great, Drix. We are just here on another lovely Wednesday. And you know what, Drix? We this weekend for me was packed full of gaming. I played some demos. I played more of that Toa and the Guardians of the First Tree demo. I played Super Robot Wars Y demo. Found out that it wasn't for me. The tactical robot turn-based robo combat was a little too slow for my taste.
Yes, when you press the button and feel the action from the giant robots, you said.
To be fair, I wish it was more like that. Cause I'm also playing Marvel Midnight Suns, and that game is also a tactical turn-based action game, but that is how you feel. You feel like there is that, I press the button and my guy does the thing and I feel it. In Super Robot Wars Y, it's like I press the button and we go into like a Fire Emblem fight.
Yep.
And now in that Fire Emblem fight, it plays an anime cutscene.
Sweet. Hopefully.
Yeah, and you know what, Drix? I gotta tell you, watching my guy do the same thing 18 times in a row, I thought it was going to be a lot cooler.
Oh, so it probably gets a little redundant hashing out the same anime scene over and over.
I think so, and I think mainly because it everything is very 2D, very animated with shaders kind of thing, and it almost looks like a mobile game.
Yeah, you can almost discern that from the trailers, kind of marketing footage that they put up, you know?
And I didn't really like that feeling when I was playing it, because it's like you said, you watch the trailers, and you kind of like, that looks a little basic, but then I implore everybody to play the demo if you have not, because you'll realize, holy shit, this is pretty much like a mobile game.
Yeah, that is not the feeling that you want when playing with the controller in your hands-on console, is it?
Yeah, and I am a fan of the tactical turn-based experience. I loved Baldur's Gate. I love Marvel Midnight Suns. I love Ogre Battle and Tactics Ogre. I love those kinds of games. But this one, just not hitting the mark for me. It might, if you're really into the mecha anime, it might be different. But for me, definitely not my cup of tea.
Yeah, so a bit of the old member berries. Just look, there's Mazinger again.
Yeah. Whatever. Oh look, Lelouch.
When do we ever see them?
Yeah. But I will tell you what captured most of my weekend, and I'm going to put it up on the screen because it was the Sonic Racing Cross Worlds beta weekend.
Yes, you mean Yakuza Miku Racing?
Yes, Yakuza Miku Minecraft Racing.
Yes, absolutely, because everybody wants that overweight middle-aged guy action figure from Minecraft.
Absolutely. We need Jack Black Minecraft Steve.
Yeah, he needs to make an appearance in the Cross Worlds.
Yes, I will say this: him versus Movie Sonic Face Off. Let's go.
Yes, don't even throw in Keanu Reeves' Shadow the Hedgehog. Otherwise,
yes, exactly. Give me Keanu's Shadow. But I gotta tell you, Drix, this Sonic Racing Cross Worlds game, it's pretty great.
Yeah, does it feel like we've ushered in the return of GameCube racing games?
Sort of. Oh, yes, M. Stonewall. See, I don't know why Drix is so quiet tonight, but we got to deal with it.
Yes. Find the knob.
Yes. But I will... Okay, So the main thing with Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is that, Drix, there's a lot going on in this game.
Oh yeah, in the Cross Worlds racing experience.
Yes, mainly because I would call Sonic Racing Cross Worlds as a summary. It's kind of like the Call of Duty of racing games.
Ah, okay. In that there's a bunch of cameos and a ton of skins and stuff.
Sort of, but there's also loadouts.
Oh, okay. So weapon, or in this case, cart customization.
Yes, so there are 4 different kinds of vehicles. 4 of them are carts, and then the one that I used mostly is the one that you're seeing on screen right now, the board. But in the world of Sonic, it is called an extreme gear.
Ah, yes. I wonder if that was a term coined from Sonic Riders or something.
Yes, it is the Sonic Riders mode of transportation, and I gotta tell you, Drix, Sonic Riders was a very unique racing game. It was really fun, and it had a really interesting way of controlling your car. You needed to balance it out with oxygen, and like drifting and doing tricks would give you more, and then boosting would drain it, and just racing would drain it. This game kind of streamlines that idea and makes it so that with extreme gear, even if you're going on a straightaway, you kind of want to be holding a drift charge.
Oh yeah, sounds pretty Crash Team Racing to me.
Yeah, that's definitely the Crash Team Racing mode here with that one, because I'll be honest with you, I didn't go absolutely crazy, but I got to about B rank, which is just under the top, and the higher you go, the more extreme gear you see. And that is because of the other part of the loadout idea. The other part of the loadout, because you saw it on the B-roll if you were watching, but there was a moment where I unlocked a part of a gadget plate. And when you begin with only 3, but eventually you will unlock 6, and these slots allow you to customize your driving experience, and sometimes in profound ways. But some of the slots, some of them are like, this buff takes 3 slots, this buff takes 2 slots, this one buff takes 1 slot. So it has that like Call of Duty-esque point system where like, oh, I want to put all these attachments on my gun, but hold on, I only have like 100 points,
Yeah, almost like the Warhammer point system when choosing your armies.
Yeah, a little tried and true, right?
Yeah, exactly. Battle tested and ready.
Exactly. So you've got you have that aspect of it, and they really do change what you can do, to the point where some items will not even become available unless you spec into them.
Ooh, okay. Decisions must be made.
Yes, because, and I'll tell you what, Drix, the decisions they go deep. You've got everything from additional items appearing in your item boxes to an entirely new level. Right here you see 3 boost levels, the traditional 3 boost levels. You could get an additional level of boost that goes as fast as like an item and makes you invincible for like a full second. There are items, or there are gadgets that allow you to do things like gain rings from doing tricks, or charge your boost gauge faster.
Wow. Yeah, I like seeing you guys jump into the various worlds mid-race. That looks pretty cool.
And that's the other really cool gimmick about this, is that the races do change. So you spend 1 lap on the first lap is on the main course that you enter the race in. The second lap is on the bonus course that the leader gets to choose. So if you win the first lap, you get to choose either a random one or one specific course, I should say. Um, when you make your choice, you drive into the lane you want, and then you go there, transport. But the third lap, as you see, is once again we go home. We bring it home on the third lap, and we race on familiar ground for all the marbles, right?
Yeah, pretty sweet. I like how you kind of want to be early first in the beginning, so you're not just waiting, on the chance that you get hit with that blue shell or something.
I will say, but you know what? It's interesting that you bring that up, Drix, because while Sonic Racing Cross Worlds might seem, on the surface, a bit structured and a lot similar, like you said, Crash Team Racing, maybe even Mario Kart. Drix, this game has a lot going on.
Yeah, right? So it's not like the sewer speedway from Crash Team Racing I'm playing right now.
Yeah, it's more in that vein, but again, it expands on that. So this game gets very, very particular. Ring counts really matter. It affects your top speed. As you can see, I have 100 rings right here. My cruising speed goes to about 180 to about maxes out at about 200 miles per hour. If you're low rings, your max speed can be like 120 miles per hour.
Oh, cool. Yeah, the rings are ever important, as they always have been in Sonic games.
And you can lose them by simply hitting walls or other players. Now, there are gadgets to augment this, of course. See right there, if you're watching, gadget unlock. There are gadgets to augment this idea, of course. But, Drix, there is so much going on in the race at any given time. It's almost impossible to avoid either another player, unless you're way ahead and leading the pack, or I guess trailing behind the pack, or trying to maneuver around players, and then you end up hitting a wall and losing rings. Now, hitting the wall and bouncing off the wall isn't too catastrophic when it comes to your raw speed loss, but you do lose rings every time you do.
Yeah, everybody wants to keep those rings.
So, and the rings do fall out of you. Exactly, you got to keep the rings. And the rings do fall out of you, just like they do in a Sonic game. So if someone's driving next to you, they will take it.
Ooh, yeah, that's a bit too much of a swing, trying to maintain that lead.
It gets pretty intense. And I will say there wasn't a ton of characters, but again, if you're checking it out on the B-roll, you will see that there was a good amount of characters to pick from in the beta, and then for the full release there's going to be an absolute ton. There's an absolute ton of cups, single player content. The single player content, as you saw right there, also gives you a rival in your races, so you always have someone who's actively going up against you and talking trash.
Yeah, I love these character voice lines. Can't wait till we get, the full roster of characters in with that one.
And they did say, at least for all the Sonic and Sega characters, the ones that they have the voices for, that they will all have unique interactions with one another as rivals.
Nice. Yeah, give me that sweet VO and let's bring these characters to life.
Absolutely. So Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, a lot more of a... So the main thing here is this game's got a lot going on. It's kind of not... I wouldn't recommend it for the casual racing fan, simply because you can get really lost in all the chaos, especially at higher levels of play, and especially at higher speed tiers in the single player. It can get really hairy. But as for this versus Mario Kart, Drix, I don't know. I think they're both very different. This for my money, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds feels a lot more like a structured experience. There isn't a lot of crazy stuff going on, even though there's a lot of action all the time on the screen. There's a lot to keep track of. It's not too crazy. You can see it. you could ride with it, and you could overcome it. And you could always see the way out. You could always see the way around the cars. Mario Kart World is a little bit different because there's a lot of crazy shit going on. There's grinding, there's wall riding, there's you can sandbag really, really well in that game because of those mechanics, and that makes your awareness of every level really need to be at a high level of discernment when you're playing Mario Kart, because you never want to miss the potential combo of grinding to a wall ride to a grind to another wall ride and then just go absolutely banana fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Donkey Kong banana fast. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Map awareness, or in this case, course or track awareness.
And yes, whereas in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, your awareness really needs to be in keeping up with the pack. Because if you get left behind, hoo boy, there are times when I have been left where I'm like, I start the race in 10th or in 11th, and I'm like, I could get through this. We'll catch up, and I just never do.
Getting left behind, the loser of the pack, huh?
And it's brutal. It is so brutal because when you're left behind like that, unless you get the specifically right items, some items won't even help you. Unless you get specifically the right items, you're just screwed.
Wow. All right. Time to hit the action item casino when you
Yep.
those up.
It's because, it has that CTR vibe, right? It's got that CTR, like, where it's like, oh, it's super depending on your skill, but it's like, oh, shit, this is kind of wild and really hard. Like,
Yes. Nice. Well, at least it offers a completely different experience from the new Mario Kart installment that we received recently.
indeed. And I do believe that they're for two different audiences. If you want something where you really want to focus on going really fast, just speeding through the level with no BS or minimal BS, and but the getting hit by the item might be potentially more brutal than anything else, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is your game. But if you want to play like Tony Hawk the Racer, then definitely you got to play Mario Kart World.
Man, and I love both of those ideas.
Right? Both of those ideas are fantastic. But
Race philosophies at work.
oh yeah. But I will say, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to your own personal preference. I don't think one is better than the other. They both have a ton of characters. They both have a lot to offer, and they both have really interesting racing systems. So, is one better than the other? I don't think so. It really depends on your mood, and it really depends on if you really want that insane jumping, wall riding, extreme sports edge or not.
Yeah, I mean, so you're saying Mario Kart World might have the upper hand as far as sweet tricks go.
Yeah, as far as sweet tricks and sick grinds, fuck yeah.
Sick. Carve it.
And really quick before we get into the break, we are going to. Drix, I thought we had heard the last of Perfect Dark.
Yeah, my girl Joanna. We thought she was going to be left in the dark. Pun intended.
And for sure she still will be, but it seems as though there may have been some hope for her yet. Because from Bloomberg, per Jason Schreier, the article is titled, quote, Perfect Dark developer lays off staff after funding deal falls through.
Huh, little grasp at the edge of the cliff there for Perfect Dark.
It seems so, because here from the article, quote, Embracer had come close to striking a deal in which the video game publisher Take-Two Interactive Software Incorporated would purchase the game from Microsoft Corp's Xbox, which owned the rights. Take-Two would then fund and publish the game. But the talks collapsed at least in part because the companies involved were unable to come to terms over long-term ownership of the Perfect Dark franchise, said the people, who requested anonymity because they were not authorized to speak about sensitive negotiations. Representatives for Embracer, Xbox, and Take-Two all declined to comment. End quote.
Dang, alright, so it seems like, Microsoft or Xbox wanted to hang on to some portion of Perfect Dark. Didn't want to surrender it completely, huh?
Yeah, they must have wanted to, they see value in Perfect Dark as an IP. They just want to make sure that they're only giving you this game. Just finish this game. But it sounds like Take-Two was like, dude, we want to do like 5.
We're not going to work on your game if we can't keep it and say that we did it.
Yeah, dude, like, you want us to work on it, finish it for you, and then just, like, not make another one with the same technology? Sorry.
Yeah, you either want the franchise or you don't. Make up your mind.
Make up your mind.
Please, for the sake of the gamers who want to see Joanna Dark in another Perfect Dark game, please, for us, just let it go.
Right, so, reading further, quote, leadership at the initiative in Crystal Dynamics spent the following 2 months hunting for a publisher and wound up in negotiations with multiple parties. Take-Two, the company behind 2K and Rockstar labels, was interested in funding the game, but the deal fell through. As a result, last week, Crystal Dynamics said it was laying off an unspecified number of staff, although the company didn't explain why. Last year, Xbox announced plans to shut down Japanese studio Tango Gameworks, maker of Hi-Fi Rush, but wound up instead making a deal for the publisher, Krafton Inc., to salvage the company and purchase the franchise. So there was precedent there.
Wow, okay, so they did that with Tango Games, it seems, but they might not follow suit with the, Rare's Perfect Dark franchise.
And I think right there, Drix, is what you said is the key. Rare's Perfect Dark franchise. Look, we all know that Rareware has always been a sticky customer when it comes to this whole thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, once you make Donkey Kong Country, like, how do you top that?
You make Perfect Dark, and then you're just like, but bro, we made Perfect Dark for the Nintendo 64, and it was banging. Like, you can't just like give it away.
Yeah, I wonder if they are their own, speech bubble in this conversation.
It would be interesting, but unfortunately, it seems like Perfect Dark is indeed dead. It will stay dead, and it will never come out. It will never see the light of day. And even though 2K tried to save it, Xbox, Rareware, someone over there said, nah, we want to hang on to that IP.
No, but we want to make the next one and not cancel it this time.
Yeah, and we're going to release it in a timely manner.
Right. Yep, we're growing the industry, folks.
Growing the industry by shutting down one studio after another.
Yes.
But I do believe it's time for a break. We're jamming out to this right now, Drix. I don't know what we're jamming out to, but it sounds awesome. We've got new releases. After we come back, what do we got?
We are listening to an arcade game called Burning Force. This song is called Bay Yard, and I'll have another Sonic track for you coming up next.
Bay Yard, Burning Force, CFM Radio.
CFM Radio.
We'll be back.
CFM Radio.
CFM Radio, we are back.
Back and live as always every Wednesday with your video game music news and new releases. That last song was from Sonic 3D Blast, and I think in Europe they call that one Flicky's Island.
Yeah.
A vocal track called You're My Hero by the man, the myth, the legend, Richard Jacques.
Richard Jacques, we know him, we love him here on the show. He's pretty much the Sega guy.
Yeah, more or less. You got your, I always like to play bangers from Metropolis Street Racer from the Dreamcast. It's got a lot of other great vocal tracks. I think featuring the same singer at least more than once. Her vocal stylings will show up. I think it's the same one from Sonic R too. Just
Yeah.
based on my own ear.
He definitely has that, has his preferred vocalists, you know? He's a very particular guy.
Yeah, we like to sing about being in the sky and feeling high.
'Cause you're my hero.
Yup.
So, but I will say, I do believe it's time for some new releases. And guys, I think it's time. We're here. It is the hardcore gaming season. It is upon us because right around the corner, you don't want to miss what we got. The first thing we've got is Hell Is Us.
Is us. Man, this one's gonna get a little brutal. We're gonna tug on some heartstrings there.
Definitely looks like it. And from the Steam page, quote, "If war is the closest we get to hell on Earth, it's because Earth harbors the worst of demons, humankind. In an isolated country ravaged by infighting, discover the secrets of your past and deal with the repercussions of a mysterious calamity." And Hell Is Us releases tomorrow, Thursday, September 4th for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles and Drix. You know what? This one's getting pretty good reviews.
Yeah, pretty cool. If it's anything like, this War of Mine, it's gonna be a great game, and you're gonna feel some ways about some stuff by the time you get through that bad boy.
Definitely, hey man, if it gets close to this War of Mine, then that's going to be a triumph. But that's Hell Is Us, comes out tomorrow. If you're looking for something that looks this epic, definitely might want to check that one out. It's getting some good reviews. Next up, we've got a new one called Chronos, The New Dawn.
Yes, sounds like we're getting ready for some weebly wobbly timey-wimey adventures.
It seems like a survival horror from what it sounds like from the Steam page. Quote, "A whole new breed of survival horror emerges with Chronos, The New Dawn. Survive the brutal wastelands of the future. Fight nightmarish emerging creatures and jump back in time to harvest souls as you seek to uncover the origins of the apocalypse that wiped out humanity."
Yeah, loving the character design in this suit of armor here.
Right?
They say a good character design, you should be able to identify it just by their silhouette, and yeah, the guy in this suit's got it going on.
Yeah, it definitely has a recognizable silhouette. And Chronos, The New Dawn releases this Friday, September 5th for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and Switch 2.
I bet you thought you'd make it out of this new release segment without some pixel art, huh?
Ha! Ha! Drix, if you thought you would get out this new release segment without some pixel art and Metroidvania action, then I don't know. I don't know where you are. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you've been, but we've only been waiting for a millennia and a half times 12 for this next game. Because I don't know if it's a meme or not, but here it is. Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Yeah, hopefully you caught the meme I shared on today's Instagram and Facebook story about this next one being only $20.
Yeah, sorry for the delay. That'll be $20.
Yes, that's what we like to hear from our favorite developers.
And from the Steam page, quote, "Discover a vast haunted kingdom in Hollow Knight Silk Song. Explore, fight, and survive as you ascend to the peak of a land ruled by silk and song." And Hollow Knight Silksong releases tomorrow, September 4th, for PC, PS4 and PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, and Switch 2.
Yeah, big release day tomorrow, September 4th.
Big release day tomorrow. But you know what, Drix? You know what was missing? You know what platform from this is missing that was promised to us gamers?
Oh yeah? Which one is that?
The Wii U.
Huh. Is that how long we've been waiting for this one?
There was supposed to be a Wii U port of this game, Drix.
They took too long, and now we got to play it on the Switch 2
They
instead.
took too long. We had 2 whole consoles.
You know, things never go as planned, but it always helps to be prepared with the Switch 2.
It always helps to be prepared. And you know what, Drix? Here's the deal. Hollow Knight Silksong comes out tomorrow for your favorite platform. And we've got a few other games that we need to touch base with because we couldn't fit them all here, but they might be on your radar. Next, we've got NBA 2K26 on September 5th. We'd get copyright strike for that one. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, also September 5th. That one's for all you niche gamers out there. And Daemon X Machina, Titanic Scion, also September 5th. Because, you know, when I want to watch a mecha anime, I want to do it with a controller in my hand.
Yes, absolutely. I wonder if that one will suffer the same as the previous incarnation of Daemon X Machina.
Yeah, I hope I'll actually get to play this one.
No, Yevon says Machina bad.
Yeah, Machina bad. But you know what, Drix? We are playing this haunting little melody right now. What have you got going for us?
Oh, you know, in the pixel art Metroidvania theme, I'm playing a song from Dust, the Elysian Trail, a song called Vintage Glade.
Vintage Blade, Dust, the Elysian Trail. CFM Radio.
CFM Radio.
We'll be back.
Clusterfucked Media. CFM Radio.
CFM Radio, we are back.
We are back, and I just gotta say, Omae wa moshinderu. Nani? Because that was from the Fist of the North Star game for the PS2. That's the opening theme song, not only from the game, but from the TV show. I'm going to butcher the name of the song. It's called Ai o Tori Modose.
Io Tore Modose. Yes, you know what? Here's the thing. Fist of the North Star, super iconic. If you haven't seen it, I urge you to play the PS4 open world game.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. That's some good beat 'em up where you just, get them a couple good jabs in the right pressure points and watch them explode.
I mean, dude, not only that, all of the awesome, like, just the way that they tell the story in that game is so fucking fun because you fight everything.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's most episodes of that show. It's like, oh, look, this guy thinks he can take out the man with the 7 scars. And come to find out, they don't.
Yeah.
They usually never do.
Not even Rao could do it.
Ooh. Yeah, I love a good post-apocalyptic mohawk, too. See plenty of those in the anime.
Oh, hell yeah. Hey, listen, if one thing is true about post-apocalyptic anything, is that everybody just becomes punk rock.
Yeah, that's the only way you survive in the wasteland is by having 2/3 of your hair shaved real low.
You start listening to the Sex Pistols immediately.
Yep. Punk rock starter pack.
Yeah. But we're shifting away from the punk rock as we're moving into the end of the show tonight because one of the biggest, the biggest thing in gaming was, I think, you're going to see it on the screen in just a moment, the new 007 game that was in the PlayStation State of Play this morning.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a little return to form for old James Bond here because we're seeing some things in a different light.
Many different lights. This is a younger James Bond in a more modern setting. He's got all the Zoomer-lennial kind of character features that you would love, that you look for in a dashing young hero.
Minus the low taper fade.
Exactly. Minus the low taper fade. He still has his James Bond looks, you know. He's got to be James Bond, right? Like,
yeah, but definitely some new youth and vigor injected into 007 here.
And you're seeing it because you're seeing it right here on the B-roll. This is just the trailer. If you saw the State of Play, you would understand that James Bond is not in this one, not just action-packed as you see here. He's also a smooth talker as usual, but he's as we said earlier, he's a little bit younger. This is like James Bond Jr., James Bond in training.
Yeah,
So he's also got a little bit of a mouth on him.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, they even say in the trailer, you know, he's a bullet with no target, so let's give him one.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they start things off. So, this game looks pretty interesting, but here's my thing, Drix. I don't know if you caught this when you were watching it, but I noticed that again, this game isn't coming out anytime soon, right? You still got the rating pending sign, but from the footage that they were showing, and it said when you were watching the gameplay, it said captured on a PS5 hardware, not PS5 Pro, none of that. But boy, oh boy, Drix, is it just me or was that game chug-a-luggin'?
Yeah, I mean a little bit. I've been seeing mostly cutscene and stuff, but yeah, there might be a little room for frame rate improvement there. Maybe we'll see by the time March of next year rolls around.
Right. that's kind of what I'm saying is that, like, hey, we've got a whole year to, like, polish this up. And clearly the game is pretty far along, right? We've got, they gave us the whole gameplay walkthrough of, like, what, the first level, I guess? And you're seeing this trailer that we're showing off on the B-roll. This is a lot of stuff that wasn't in that initial gameplay showcase, let's say.
Yeah, right. But definitely some more cinematic scenes from the game.
And even more combat sequences, right? Like the one in the club. He's got, as opposed to the little bit of combat and like stealth takedowns, and honestly, the car chase, really, like in the gameplay.
We don't see a lot of car chases in those previous Bond installments, but I am quite fond of, like, when The World Is Not Enough came out. You had the first level in the bank when you're just kind of sneaking around, maintaining your disguise, staying incognito. I think that's wonderful that we're going to see a bit more of that in a
Yes.
James Bond game.
Yeah, I think he's a spy, right? So it's one of those things where I feel as though that is a key aspect of the fantasy, is that, hey, we know James Bond from the movies as he's kind of like a smooth talking, suave, badass guy. And, like, depending on what era you're in, he's either using gadgets, or if he's like Sean Connery, or he's using guns if he's Daniel Craig, right? But, like, this looks like it, like, melds all that together, and it puts it in that, like, Assassin's Creed, Batman Arkham, open world Ubisoft shell that lets you do the stealth takedowns and the sneaking around and, like, the eagle vision or the detective vision,
Yeah, equal parts gadget and gun, as well as, a nice youthful paint job, sweet lighting effects, a car chase, and other than that, the James Bond you've come to know and love.
So, but here's the real thing. Exactly what kind of game do you think this is going to be, Drix? Do you think we're going to be, like, tricking out James Bond in a skill tree? Or do you think we're going to be just straightforward and then, like, an open world? Or you think it's going to go from level to level to level, sequence to sequence, in, like, a cinematic style?
Yeah, these, like, military or espionage things tend to fit better into, like, a mission-based, like, sortie kind of package. But yeah, it might be equal parts action and stealth, and we'll see what kind of tightrope balance they got, come next year.
Because it seems like there's a lot going on in the game, right? Even just from the gameplay walkthrough, there was, like we said, there was a car chase. There's a lot of stealth. There was a lot of just exploration. It looks like you might even have to figure out your own way in if you want to take the stealth route, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping it takes more of the Hitman approach, where it's sort of many roads that lead to the same objective.
Yes.
And kind of hope James doesn't get a skill tree in this game, because that would definitely put it down the Ubisoft rabbit hole.
I mean, if he does get a skill tree, make it like make those decisions really have weight, right? Like, make that shit like, I could see, like, I gotta pick one out of these three. I can't get them all,
Yeah, does James want to do more, like, scientific book learning, or does he want to do more, gun-fueled blasting?
Yeah.
You're gonna get into this one.
That would be kind of cool if you could, like, choose how you want to do it in that way. Like, do you want to be like Daniel Craig and just kind of, like, get in a smooth way, but once you're in, fucking all bets are off and you're just kicking doors down? Or do you want to be like Pierce Brosnan, where you're just, like, smooth the whole way? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, eliminating all of the enemies is one way to stay stealth, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, you know what? Daniel Craig, he really had no problem with...
Yeah, I hope that's the kind of, like, the black and white, good or evil, like, morale character meter, is just like, are you gonna follow the rules and play by the book, or are you gonna fucking rogue out and just, blaze your own path, guns up?
Yeah, are you gonna go straight Nightfire?
Yeah, exactly. Are you gonna follow orders to a T? Or are you gonna, maybe wing it a
Yeah.
little bit?
Or is the world not enough, James? Like,
Yes. Not for England, but for me.
yeah, exactly. So either way, no matter what happens, honestly, I feel as though that even though there might have been a little bit of like early performance issues, you're seeing it right here, right, everybody. March 27th, 2026. And if people are complaining about those kinds of like, oh, performance issues in the gameplay demo, they're gonna, for a fact these guys are gonna be like, okay, that aspect specifically needs to be better. Like,
Yeah, I mean, listen to any feedback you get, developers, because if we're seeing it in the trailer, that voice in your head's only going to get louder once the game comes out.
exactly. But I'm excited for it. It should be pretty nice. I'm wondering if it'll have a multiplayer mode. You know.
Yeah, will we be taken back to the days of GoldenEye? That's what remains to be seen. I mean, you should probably abandon any hopes of it being GoldenEye again, because clearly we're seeing a lot more sides to James Bond
Yeah.
than we did on the Nintendo 64. But
Yeah.
all in all, it looks like a pretty sweet package altogether.
I definitely I'm looking forward. Like I said, I'm looking forward to this because there just seems like a whole host of different gameplay options, like stealth, action, in vehicles. Like there looks like there's a whole combat system. Like right there, you saw like there was like a whole thing where like he could throw an item, throw dudes into other dudes, throw them into other debris. Like it might have seemed a little rigid right there, but like if there are layers to it in that way, that so much that so that you can see it happening, I would be very interested in like learning that, right?
Yeah, what kind of decisions is James going to have to make? Both, getting in and out of the area of operation, as well as, which hand to throw and at what time.
It would be pretty interesting. It would be pretty interesting to, especially if the enemies ended up being like uh either like super smart or like had like later on in the game maybe had like could counter you in some way. That might be, if it is that mechanical, like hey, maybe instead of dude throw it, you throw him into the wall, he can like catch himself and like punch you in the face, like, and you got to be ready for it.
Yeah, Arkham, baby.
Yeah,
Welcome to
Arkham. Arkham, I love those games.
Yeah. Oh, they're good. They're so good they made a Lego one.
Yeah, exactly. That's good. That one's looking great. That was a show stealer. Um, but that's James Bond 007 First Light. Gonna be on PlayStation 5, Xbox, and PC. Looking pretty good. Amazon game MGM Game Studios, huh? Like, see what they're made of,
Yeah. Hey, aren't those the movie guys?
right? Them's the movie guys.
Cool. So we'll definitely have a visual spectacle to look at come next year. But we absolutely got the first light for you here on CFM Radio.
The James Bond 007 First Light, as it were.
Ah.
But I do believe, hey, you know what? Here's the thing, Drix. We all know that we're on the precipice of a big change in gaming. Everybody in the industry is saying it, and everybody in the industry is also saying that um, the state in the industry, or the state of the industry that approved games such as Perfect Dark, that is completely in the rear view mirror. That industry, some people have said, and we've reported it on the show, some people have said that that industry essentially no longer exists. So,
Yeah. The world you were born into is no longer.
yeah, as brutal as it might seem, but that just means that honestly, these kinds of experiences, like your James Bond style experiences, your Final Fantasies 15s, 16s, your yeah, these triple A big romps, they're slowly coming to an end. And I'm not trying to be the guy who's trying to be like a bearer of bad news. But if you've been listening to CFM Radio, you'd understand. These people don't, it's not enough for them. They can't rely on you buying this game, the next game, and the game after that. They need to have one game that takes all your money and funds like 3 other games.
Yeah, they need to pull you off of Fortnite.
And TikTok.
Yeah, Netflix, Hulu, and the like.
Yeah.
Scrolling, gaming, they're all fighting for the same attention spans nowadays.
And honestly, Driggs, it's kind of insane how we've gotten to a point where the commodity of the people is the attention span. Like,
yeah, right. Not just my labor or whatever. Now you need my eyes on stuff, eyes and ears, and track those movements.
Yeah.
Am I holding my phone in?
So yeah.
I know if I'm depressed or not.
How long am I? Did I play Overwatch and then log on to the website to check my stats? And if I did I do it from my phone?
Yeah, Blizzard must know.
I'm sure they do. Hey, what is it? The strange analogy of the modern day that we live in is Facebook knows when you poop.
Oh boy, do they.
Like
something like 6 million data points on a user, probably more like 60 million.
Yeah, something like that. You know, so really, that's what we always try to say here on CFM Radio is listen, in a world that's just trying to steal your data and trying to figure you out for the sole reason of selling you something.
Yeah. Who am I going to show my band ads to?
Yeah. Do you want to sit and scroll through TikTok until the algorithm tells you that you want something and you finally, after 6 hours, look at it, have the epiphany and say, hey, maybe I do want that?
Yes. Bring me thing I may consume.
Or do you just want to play a game?
Yeah, because I have no money and must buy something. I definitely started playing Helldivers 2 again, which feels like a new game because I can't afford one at the moment. But love when that happens.
But hey, you know what? But that point in of itself, Drakes, we were saying this point like a month ago. You know, with the friend swap. You know, you're playing Helldivers again, and it feels like a new game. You know, you've had a whole injection of Xbox players. There's a whole, like, events have happened that have shaped the entire landscape of the galaxy. Like,
storyline matters based on your actions.
Yeah. So and a lot of these games are like that. Not a lot of people realize that these little live service games that you might have left behind. I mean, shit, Marvel Rivals is going into its latest season, and the last season that just passed, the whole storyline was Phoenix fighting the fucking Venom symbiote.
Yeah, you could have your own Rivals comic book series to rival the comic books.
Exactly. So there's a lot going on in these games. These games, you know, you put them down for a few months, you pick up, I don't know, Assassin's Creed, the latest Assassin's Creed, or Baldur's Gate 3. You play that for like a month, 2 months. Just pop back in Helldivers, dude. It's like a whole new game.
Yeah, pretty much. Fighting new enemies in new environments on a newer and even more intense difficulty. Yay.
And you know what? That goes for games like Street Fighter as well. Street Fighter just released a whole, like, after Evo, Sagat came out. He's kicking ass out there. You've got a new character in Overwatch 2. You have tons of new games coming out. A bunch of new free-to-play games just hit the PlayStation Store.
Nice.
And if you're looking for something to play, we just went over a bunch of new releases.
Yeah. No, we kept trailers for the little indie guys, but we're talking NBA 2K6, Damon X Machina, and I'm pretty excited to see Hot Shots Golf return with
Yeah.
Everybody's Golf.
Hot Shots Golf, and it's coming out on Switch.
Sweet. Yeah, that might make a great Switch title to own.
Yeah, exactly. Hot Shots Golf is going to be pretty sweet. So there's a lot for everybody, from the mainstream gamer to the niche gamer. So, as always, here we are on CFM Radio. Play more games. Drix, I think we got to get out of here to make sure these guys can play some games.
Yeah, we'll get out of your way, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Thank you. Good night.